Sports, the Neutral Zone, with your hosts, Bird Gang representative Casual E and Sean McConnell from Casual Sports, me, Jay Adams, and NFL vet Ed Smith from Easy Sports Talk. Buckle up for 60 minutes of NFL football previews and pick'ems. Hold tight as we preview this week's games with in-depth analysis and opinion and a flavor all our own. Bragging rights are on the line with the Neutral Zone Pick'em trophy up for grabs. It's the Neutral Zone. Lace them up.
Yo, 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 yo. It is Thursday night. And you know with Thursday nights comes the best Pickem Show going in the social media front and on the KSRN hotline, or should I say radio station. It is the Neutral Zone. I am your host, Earl Burnett. This is the crazy dancing man over there, Sean McConnell. We're going to have Jay coming in a minute. He just running a little bit behind. And while Jay and the bragging dude with the trophy is going to tell us what the picks look like right now. So what's going on, Sean?
Oh, sorry, I'm out of breath. Oh, man.
He's stupid.
Oh, so, you know, I've been running this league, right? I'm literally running for first place. So that nothing's changed. I'm up 53. We got Jay at 51, made a nice comeback. Ed's at 49, and Earl, you're at 48. But you had a great week. You had a good week. So
I know I had a pretty good week. Yeah,
that great week closed your gap to me by 1. So you're now only down 5 instead of 6. I'm proud of you. I'm real proud of you.
Wow, I made up some ground.
You made up some ground.
So I didn't even make any ground on the other two either. Then, so how far back was I to this?
No, you made a little bit of ground. So look, you're behind Ed by 1, and you know.
Oh, okay.
Ed's bound to drop one because he's just not.
Yeah, it still is. I'm still in the fight.
He doesn't want this thing back like he says he does.
One of our. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know, but he's Ed is a pretty important dude going right now. We got him on the Believe Network, and the Believe Network usually has, the other team that we're playing as the Cardinals team, and they want to get some insight from our Cardinals stuff, and they call up on Ed to get that stuff. So we get it. We're not as important as those freaking Cowboys.
He just doesn't want the trophy as bad as he said he did.
Maybe, I don't know. But we still going to give our picks. And we still going to try to see if we can – I'm going to still try to see if I can win this thing. I ain't that far back. 5 picks for you, that ain't too bad. I guess 1 per week. I can make up 1 per week, and then I can catch you.
I'll take some chances for you.
I was just about to say, you bound to slip up at some point and try to take one of them chances, especially with Cleveland, because you see them hot right now. So you might try to jump on that and then get screwed at the
end. Yeah, that has happened to me before. I might not learn that lesson.
That's been the routine pretty much.
Man.
Okay, I'm looking at how Jay had these things in line here, and I got an odd against this dude.
Uh-oh.
Okay, look, check this out. You tell me this. Which game is better for you matchup-wise? Rams or 49ers or Green Bay and Tampa Bay? Which one is the better game?
Green Bay, Tampa Bay game.
Thank you. I got Green Bay, Tampa Bay as well. He got the freaking Rams and the 49ers in 3rd place on the thing chart. Like, who gives a damn about a 49er game? Did you see that game last week? Did anybody watch that? I mean, we didn't have to watch it, but you at least know the score, what happened in that game. Them fools got smacked by the Dolphins.
That's true.
So I don't think that's much of a big matchup. I mean, I think that's a mismatch, actually.
Yeah, he's not here to hear you gripey about it either, so.
Oh, he gonna get it. But I know he gonna come in. I'm like, I don't care, dude. You gotta. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, we still got to pick it anyway, regardless. But I just like, man, I thought, wait a minute, Green Bay, and then that's a pretty damn good game.
I'm guessing because of the Rams-San Fran game being in the first lot of picks that we make, just because of the NFC West factor, and with San Fran being so weird this year, and the Rams kind of being better than expected, maybe that's why I put it in there. And you could argue that we could put the Green Bay Tampa Bay game in the first segment and have 4 games in there, but
exactly,
Jay does it the way he does it, and we're just going to give him a hard time for it because that's what we do, especially when he's not in the room right now. We're going to tease him.
Yeah, we'll get him when he gets in here, but for right now, Is there anything else you want to jump on before I guess we can just jump and do the first few picks here and get it out the way.
Yeah, it was a good week of football, man. We all had pretty good picks along the board. For the most part, there were some interesting games like that Bills-Tennessee game. That was a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. That was not what I expected.
That was a freaking beatdown. What the hell got into the Titans, man?
Well, COVID did, but apparently it turned out okay for them, so I had to do it.
Yeah, that was in them at some of them at some point.
A lot of them.
Damn. I mean, if they can come out, if that's the result of not practicing, then why practice?
Talking about practice, man.
Then again, they did practice and spread the thing at some high school. That's probably where they end up getting their practice from in the beginning. So,
not a good look.
But anyway, let's look at this first game. Of course, we got Kansas City and Buffalo is going to be it's switching from tonight's Thursday night game, which it usually is, and due to COVID moving it again, doing its thing during the football season so far, it's moved to Monday, which is going to be up against our Cardinals game. Now, the Cardinals better play this game good, because if this thing gets out of control, everybody's going to try to jump into the Kansas City Buffalo game.
That might actually give us
playing simultaneously like an hour later.
That might give us a chance. That might actually give us a chance if people don't watch our game, right? I mean, that's.
Thank you, because it's in our head. We on national TV, man. We gotta show up. Yeah, man. I already know it, but let's hope that they show up in the game. I mean, that's my hope, is that they show up at least. But this Kansas City game, Buffalo got their butt spanked just Thursday, and they're going to be playing Monday night, so they get a couple of extra days. But they got spanked on Monday by a team that everybody's overlooked to a point. I mean, that team's you were thinking they were just winning, not lucky, but they were just kind of grinding out and finding a way to win at the end. But that team's a good team. As a matter of fact, they kind of remind me of that Buffalo team a little bit.
A little bit better run game, but yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. With a little bit better running game. I look at them two quarterbacks, they like mirror of each other, both of them. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the same teams. But with the running game is the difference. And Derrick Henry is always what every team is getting prepared for to try to fight against. So, they're going to be coming in. And I watched that game a little bit. They were stacking that box trying to stop them. And it set up all kinds of stuff. Ryan was throwing a rock all over the field. So, I like that. I watched that game and I said that's the formula to beating a team that just want to throw the ball all over the yard. Yeah. But Kansas City also coming off a loss, which is the shocker of them coming off the loss, because the Raiders, man, Las Vegas is like, okay, we tired. There was an interview that went down with Gruden before that game a couple of days before. He's like, I love Andy Reid, but I hate the Chiefs. He said, I hate the Chiefs. I'm tired of losing to him, and I'm tired of that. Yeah, I hate the Chiefs. He came out there. His team was just feeling what the coach was feeling and put it down on Kansas City, man. Yeah. How you think they – I mean, I know the reason how they won the game. I know how they did it. I mean, the blueprint is pretty simple. Kansas City does not have much of a running game. The Raiders do. Yeah. So now, when you can run the rock and time of possession is 35-18 to 24-42, you keep Patrick Mahomes on that sideline a little longer, and you get him off the field on third down, which they did 6 of 14. That's the formula to keep that team on the sideline. And then the Raiders' balance attack is amazing. That run and pass, Derek Carr threw the ball 31 times, and they ran it 35 times.
Well, so, it's safe to say that Kansas City learned from their mistakes today by just having a gift fall in their lap that is Le'Veon Bell, because he's going to the Chiefs. So that run game issue is about to be real fixed real quick.
Nobody's going to believe me, but as soon as I heard that he got released, I said, he going to Kansas City. I said it. I said, this is no lie. I said, he going to the Chiefs, because the reason why I know Chiefs need that guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield like Lev Bell does.
Yeah, the only thing that would have surprised me less was if he went to the Patriots, right? Like, it's just like, yeah, everyone that gets cut that's a big name goes to the Patriots in the middle of the season. That's usually the formula, right? But KC now has that.
The Chiefs because of how easy it was, as far as he wants to go to a winner that's got a chance to do something. And
Miami was on that list, though. Let's not say he was all winners.
Yeah, Buffalo and Miami were on that list, I believe. But Buffalo would have been a good pick for a spot for him, but then Singletary's doing pretty good for them. So I think Jay is ready.
He's ready. Let him in. Let the man in.
Yeah, but man, this Kansas City game, I know he's going to want to give his pick on it, but I got a few things to say about it. I'm going to let him in, and we'll see what Jay has. But that's the formula to beating them, is keeping Mahomes on the sideline. That's the formula. So, you ready? Do I have him on mute, or is he on mute himself?
Yeah, he's going to unmute here.
Oh, okay.
He's just strapping down the mic because he's about to spit on it.
There it goes. So, yeah, like I was saying, time of possession, 35-18 to 24-42. This is just the Raider formula of beating the Chiefs. You got to have some history with the Chiefs first to be pissed off first to want to beat them. That's what the Raiders had coming in. Gruden said it earlier in the week. I'm tired of this team beating us, so they came in with an attitude already. And so when they came in, Buffalo is going to have to try to see if they match that formula. But I don't think Buffalo has the same running game that the Raiders do. So that's going to be, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. And you have to run the ball a lot. I mean, 31 times passing and 35 times running. The Raiders' balance was just excellent in that game to keep Mahomes on the sideline. The Chiefs like to make teams panic when they get down those quick 2 touchdowns in the game in the first quarter. Normally, they get you down 2 touchdowns. The Raiders didn't panic in that game last week. The Raiders just said, okay, we down 14-3. Okay, so they kept fighting, came back. Then it was down 21-10. They kept fighting. The next thing you know, they broke the Chiefs back because they kept the running game in their offense and kind of balance that thing out. And that's what the Buffalo Bills are going to have to do to beat them. But I don't think the Buffalo can do that. So I took Kansas City in this game to get back on track. What you take, Sean?
To me, I took Kansas City. It's the battle of the former undefeateds. Both teams are shell-shocked from last week. Got a big dose of reality against Tennessee, who was more prepared to play. Let's be honest. I mean, good Lord, Derrick Henry is a bad man. Anyways, I think the shell-shock hangover of that game gives Casey a slight edge. Wow, I put Oakland. Las Vegas certainly exposed Kansas City, and they will have to play more complete games down the stretch, and having Lev Bell will help. He's not going to be in this game likely, but having him in the future will help them. Playing more complete games instead of relying just on their talent, which is what it looked like last week. KC, I think, will respond better to their loss than Buffalo will, and they will end up coming away with the W. What's up, second place, Jay? How's it going?
What's going on, man? Trying to do what I can to surge, man.
Okay.
The surge.
So as we move on, and I appreciate y'all gentlemen for your hospitality. So as we go on to Rams at San Francisco, which is Sunday night.
And this is when you were out, my man Don and I kind of
ragged on you a little
bit.
Okay,
what's this dude thinking, putting this game second behind the Kansas City game when you got that Green Bay Tampa game down there that's definitely going to be better than this one?
Now, here's the thing with that is because given the fact that our division, the Cardinals division, is so competitive, and that there have been kind of some hiccups along the way when you look at Garoppolo, with maybe his tentativeness with coming back from his injury. You look at you look at the Rams that have maybe slightly overperformed or outperformed in terms of what we thought that they would. I think there's intrigue there. And if nothing else, there's intrigue when it comes to this game.
See, I had your back. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, okay.
It is.
So when it comes to this one, it's funny because we know we live in the age of cancel culture. Whereas if you say your favorite color is red, I say it's blue, and you want to cancel me because it's not about blue, fool. What you don't know that you try to give me all these reasons why blue should be canceled. It's the same reason where while I'm not sold on Garoppolo, I wasn't sold when the Patriots traded him to San Francisco. I think to cancel him as a result of the game that he had. Again, you're coming back. You're human.
Right.
You might be a professional athlete, but you're still human. And so because your imperfections showed in a game, now all of a sudden you need to be jettisoned. I think that's something that I wanted to at least discuss this a little bit. So your thoughts on this one, I guess, Sean, what you got on this one?
To me, it speaks organizations sit right now. San Fran is more concerned about keeping Jimmy G safe and benching him in this game. Sorry if I'm lagging on your end, Earl. Keeping Jimmy G safe. For what? You're below 500. Hello, you play to win the game. This Rams offense will get tested against what we thought was a stout defense. Either way, I hope this game ends in a tie, but I think the Rams will likely take the win on the road just because San Fran's more concerned about their quarterback's health or mental ability in a game to beat Miami for all teams. So I'm going Rams.
NFC West battle. Good news, bad news. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose.
Unless it's a tie.
I mean, or the tie, hopefully, but we do not doubt that's going to happen. But the last 2 years, in 2018, the Rams swept the Niners. Last year, 2019, the Rams swept them. So it's always the better teams. That year, the Rams went to the Super Bowl. That's the year they swept. And last when 49ers went, that's the year they swept. So the Rams look a whole lot better than the Niners do right now. So I would think the Rams offense would be a whole lot better than that. Did you see what Miami did to that defense last week? I mean, 43, if Miami can put a 43 burger up on them dudes, I mean, I know that Ram offense can match that for sure. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams in this game just from an offensive standpoint alone because that defense is depleted.
And I know that for me, from my perspective, there weren't a lot of games that were top notch in terms of worthy of being in our first or third segment, just because of maybe the nature of what's going on in the season. But I mean, think about it. For casual E, you have a day where you wake up and you stub your toe and you go into the kitchen and you think that your refrigerator is working and maybe it turned off in the middle of the night and you think that the sky is falling. And so I think that's a lot of what happened with the San Francisco 49ers in this case, in terms of where you're looking at those a perfect confluence of events that led San Francisco to lose to Miami, could have lost to Cleveland, could have lost to the Cardinals, could have lost to whoever that might have been. And I think it's the overreaction that happens as a result of somebody who maybe you've rated too high, maybe you've rated correctly. But I think that ends up being part of what happens with the San Francisco 49ers, especially because they're coming off of being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, it's something to keep in mind. So let's move on to Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Now there's your game of the week.
Man, good Lord.
Man.
Cleveland 4-1 because they take the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands, and he's saying, I can throw, coach, I can throw. And then, of course, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers that are coming in at 4-0. So these are, especially being in the same division, this is something that it should be a knockdown, drag out when it comes to this. As long as one of the things that I saw, I think last week when I was watching the game a bit, is Baker Mayfield was throwing the ball a little bit more than he has over the last couple of weeks. So you wonder if the coaches will say, all right, we let you do what you do. But so what does this come down to? We'll start with you, Casually. What you got on this game?
Yeah, the reason why he was throwing it a lot last week, there's a reason for that. Trust me, there's a reason for it. It ain't just that. It ain't saying that Baker can just throw the ball all over the yard. No way. But this is the type of game where if you're a big brother to a little brother, you got to see if the little brother's made it yet. Can he snatch the pebble out your hand, so to speak? Because right now, are you ready to come up to the big boys and snatch this pebble out of my hand, Pittsburgh?
Okay.
And that's what it's coming down to, because that team is owned. Pittsburgh has owned them from day one and still has owned them no matter what. And now this swag that these Browns is playing with now, the formula for them to win, like you said, you're not going to give Baker Mayfield a ball. You're going to put that ball in that running game's hands or stomach or whatever you want to call it, and let them set up that passing game.
Right.
That's how they've been winning games this year. It's the run game, and it's also they stay mostly in that run formation. You think they're still running the ball, but they end up with only just 2 wideouts on the outside, and them 2 dudes on the outside are the best receivers on your team. And you think that you're going to give that ball to the running backs, but it's a play action. Now you got an 8-man box with just 2 dudes one-on-one with a safety in the back. Deep ball with Landry and Odell. And that's what they've been doing. And when you think they're going to do that, they hand the ball off to Hunt, and they just kill you all day long. So it's that running game that's setting up what Cleveland's doing. And Baker's just taking what the defense give him. That's all he can do. I mean, but if you're just going to sit back and spread it out and say, hey, here, Baker, and he's going to throw you some picks, and you're going to be that little brother saying, Pittsburgh, can I have some candy? Can I have, don't be. But I got Pittsburgh still winning this game because their defense is too damn good. They're the number 3 ranked defense in the NFL right now. And Baker and them haven't played a defense like this yet. So I'm going with Pittsburgh, but it'll be a good game to watch, though, for sure.
All right, what you got, Sean?
Yeah, to piggyback off Earl, the Pittsburgh defense is quietly putting together a very nice resume. 273 passing yards per game allowed and 64 rushing yards per game allowed. 64.
Yeah.
A tough team that is going to be...
Cleveland's been averaging what?
More than that.
Cleveland? Yeah, 100-something a game. So, man, that's going to be the difference in the game for sure.
So a tough team that's going to be hard to bet against right now, even for me. I'm still tempted to pick Cleveland. I might change it just for fun.
Go.
They're rolling, too. 4 straight wins. This game, we will find out who the pretender is, as both teams have played subpar teams leading up to this matchup. That is key because they really haven't been tested. And I think they'll test each other, but I still think Big Brother's going to win this one. I'm going Pittsburgh.
It should be. It's definitely interesting. And it's when you have competition within your division, that is, I mean, that's what everybody wants, right? That's what the NFL wants. They want parity, but of course they want competition within the divisions. But we have come to the end of the first segment because my brother's carrying me, so I appreciate you most definitely. So we gonna take a little bit of break, and we're gonna come back and talk about Arizona Cardinals, and maybe I'll eat a little bit of crow, and that's how we do it.
Oh man.
Welcome to the Neutral Zone Show. Lace them up.
It is the Neutral Zone. J Love, Casual E, and of course Sean McConnell, because I always pick Sean's brain on stuff, and you know what I'm saying, I'll be picking your brain on some more stuff later. But this is the part of the show that we dedicate, of course, to the Arizona Cardinals, because at our heart we are an Arizona Cardinals show, even though this is a football pick'em show. So last week the Cardinals went in to New York, and they against that vaunted New York Jets defense,
stout.
They put up 30 points. It was stout. It was unbelievable. And of course, with that unstoppable New York Jets offense, they only allowed 10 points. So it comes down to it. So real quick. So as we get ready to look forward to the Dallas Cowboys, as the Cardinals will be heading into to the state of Texas to go against the Dak Prescott-less Dallas Cowboys. What were your thoughts on this game when it came down to, I mean, the Arizona Cardinals were actually doing vertical things, not horizontal things. Listen to an AMG song about, you know what I'm saying? If anybody knows about AMG, it's about that vertical joyride. But they were doing vertical things, not horizontal things. Your thoughts on how they acquainted themselves in terms of with the pressure that was on going against the New York Jets? I'll start with you first, Sean.
Yeah, the pressure was, we were all saying last week, they can't lose to the Jets. Of all these teams, like, they can't lose to the Jets. We saw some defensive adjustments that benefited against a weak Jets offense. I'm hopeful that Vance can pay attention in this game and make those necessary adjustments again if and when they come up, because halftime adjustments are crucial, and he's notorious for not doing anything about it. He needs to do something in this game about that. Cliff, like you said, abandoned the horizontal football, and it led to more explosive plays. Drake and Edmonds are crucial in this game, if you're Drake, don't look for the home run and keep Dallas's defense that allows 413 yards and 36 points per game. Allow that defense to get honest. Just run your run and go for it. Edmonds is very explosive. I think he needs more touches. We've said that on Monday. Don't give them the game by becoming one-dimensional by your own doing. That's a very big key for me.
Very interesting.
I got more stats on that, but this is our big segment, so let's just bounce it around.
What you got, Casual E?
I'm gonna start with a question. Can you get better when you play a high school team? Can you get better at a different level playing a little team that couldn't hang with you, couldn't hang with you?
Confidence, right? It's confidence.
That's about the last thing you can get out of it. The only thing you can get out of it is confidence, right? But you got to also understand, too, that once you get into that real NFL game, that level's a little higher. Can you bring it to that level? That's going to be what the Cardinals are dealing with. And when I say that, they're an NFL team themselves, yes. But what I'm saying is, can you deal with that level, meaning can you bring it up focus-wise to bring it up to that level? Because this team don't focus enough. Now, okay, it was the Jets last week. They were good enough to get by the Jets as far as no matter how bad they looked, they could have beat the Jets team. You have to come in and focus on what this Dallas team has to offer, because I do not want this team to come in here, and Patrick Peterson's already on his dang on podcast talking already putting it out there that, oh, Andy Dalton's a serviceable backup. What the heck do you mean a serviceable backup? This dude has been in the NFL in playoff games. He has led a team to playoff games. He has led a team to 10-plus wins at least 3 to 4 or 5 times. So don't sleep on this dude. Don't sleep on Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has never had a team like that Cowboy team around him. Never. He's never had them dynamic receivers and that running back behind him. He has never had. And all he has to do is give the ball to those weapons, and he don't have to do anything. Look, when Dak went out of that game, he went 9 of 11 for 111 yards in one quarter. And who was his favorite target? CD Lamb was his favorite target. So I'm like, now that target and the other two dudes are still out there. I'm telling you, I'm fearing this game simply because of what I heard him say on that interview. If he thinks for 1 second, if he thinks for 1 minute that Andy Dalton is a backup in this league, then you're wrong. And you're already coming in with a losing attitude already. You better respect that dude.
Look, the one part about this game that is going to get the Cardinals hyped up is there are at least 3 dudes that love going back to Texas and putting the hurt on any Texas team. That is Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and Christian Kirk. Obviously, K1's from Texas. Hopkins just wants to punish anything that's in Texas, right, for shipping him out. And Kirk went to A&M. So these guys are going to look to make big, big plays. But with that being said, this game will only be won by whichever team's offensive trenches are really working. And I say that obviously they have Ezekiel Elliott, and we know they can run the ball, but their offense is banged up, shifted around, moved, shuffled. If we can get our offensive running game going and potent and keeping them honest, like I said, a team that loves giving up rushing yards, we can keep them more honest and more off guard and get those playmakers, those wide receivers that is so stout on either side of the ball, but for us especially to get in the end zone. This is a very, very intriguing national game because of all these aspects.
I'm going to say something to kind of, not to rebuttal what Sean said, but almost on the same page. We're on the same page, but you're talking about a run game, right? We're talking about a team in the Arizona Cardinals who gave up 4.4 yards per carry to the freaking Jets last week.
Right.
You give up 4.4 yards to the freaking Jets, and you got Ezekiel Elliott coming in there. I don't care how bad his offensive line is. If the Jets are that bad and you give up 4.4, how much you think you're going to give up to Zeke Elliott?
Dallas is allowing 155 yards of rushing.
So here's what I want to do, because I want to ask this question. So one, and I know both of you because we're on the same text chain, is that what was apparent to me, and I mentioned this to Ed when we recorded the Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast earlier today, was that it's apparent to me the level of coaching or the lower level of coaching, because there was a time when Gase challenged a play, when it wouldn't have done him any good, even if he had won the challenge, and yet he still challenged it. So what does it say about the communication you have with your people in those positions to tell you to challenge, or when you're inquiring to them to ask if you need to challenge because you're thinking that play is a little bit borderline? I want to give you a couple of give you some scores. So these are starting with the 0-5 New York Giants. We have these are the totals that the Dallas Cowboys have given up: 34, 49, 38, 39, and then 20. And that 49 was to the aforementioned Cleveland Browns. What do you expect from? Do you think that Cliff Kingsbury is going to overthink this when it comes to the expectation that you should put up a lot of points on this Dallas Cowboys team, or do you think that he'll take a more measured approach in terms of trying to make sure that the offense is really hitting on all cylinders? And I'll start with you, Casual E.
I actually think this is going to be a shootout game, to be honest with you. It's going to be a back and forth shootout. It's going to come down to which team can get a defensive stop back to back, because the Cardinals have been serviceable in their defense. They've gotten back to at least having some resistance in their defense. So I like our chances at getting a few stops in this game. But I mean, it's going to be a back and forth, thing. And can Cliff come in there and do what we have done the last week and what we did last year and keep that running game in your playbook at a good ratio? What was the ratio last week, Sean? It was pretty decent, right?
It was pretty even. Yeah. We need that type of effort. And if you get that going, the big plays are going to automatically open up for you, because that Cowboys team on defense, big play, when you say big D, it's big play when you play in that stadium, because their defense cannot stop anybody on the big play. So if we just keep Cliff remain patient and let that running game build up to Hopkins over the top, build up to Kirk in the post, let it build up to it, because Kyler's going to open that thing up with his running as well. So it's going to be back and forth, and I don't know. I'm hoping Cliff can just stay with the thing and be patient in this game. It's going to be a shootout, though.
Sean?
So to build off of that, obviously the Cowboys defense is basically a block of Swiss cheese, right? Typically, a lot of coaches will scrap their playbook or their game plan from team to team, right? It's a common practice. Different team, different game plan. I want Cliff to laminate that Jets game plan and bring it to Dallas.
Exactly.
Because here's why. It was balanced. It wasn't horizontal. It was vertical, right? But here's what backs that up. You have 6 dudes that had 30-plus yards receiving. And now we talked about this on Monday. I'm going to do it again. I saved that screenshot. Here's the long receptions per these 6 players. 24 to Andy Isabella, 12 to Fitz, 31 to Darrell Daniels, of all people, 30 to Chase Edmonds, 24 to Kirk, and a whopping 45-yard reception for DeAndre freaking Hopkins. These dudes all had 30-plus yards of receiving, which is the basketball equivalent of even your bench guys, your 15th man, getting double digits. You play like that, it's a win-win.
You should be fine. Yeah, you should be fine. I'm going to give you another thing about this game. I gave you all the Andy Dalton's thing early, that, okay, you don't want to sleep on this dude.
The Red Rifle.
Right.
But we do know there's a formula to bring out the other Dalton. There's a formula to bring out the Dalton that everybody thinks is coming into this game. There is a formula to that, but I don't think the Cardinals have the formula, because we got 3 sacks last week. Okay, yeah, but those were sacks like sparingly in the middle of a garbage game.
Right.
Where is the intensity and the pressure of a relentless pressure coming off of our edges and coming up to a quarterback that we get on quarterbacks? We don't get that on quarterbacks.
A sack on 3rd and 6 would be great.
Thank you, Sean. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Sean. That's what I was about to say.
The relentless pressure that gets you sacks in crucial points of the game. 3rd and 6. Oh, 4th quarter, this is the last drive. We can't let them get a first down. I mean, they should never pick up a 3rd and 12. You know what I'm saying? Those things that make a difference in a game. And our pressure, we're not bringing that type of pressure on a quarterback. So if you let Andy sit back there and get comfortable, okay, the 3 receivers going to have big days, all 3 of them.
There we go.
Ironically, we have covered the damn tight end. But these
tight end's short up, man.
Yeah, tight end is shored up. But those 3 receivers, they go run loose if we don't get some pressure on them. And I know we haven't had much pressure even when Chandler was there.
Yeah.
So now when Chandler's not there, the defensive coordinator is not planning a game plan around stopping Chandler Jones now. It's just going to be who can get pressure. They're not going to get enough pressure. Just let them do what they want to do. It's going to be hard to get pressure on the quarterback. I hope we can do it. I hope Gardeck just loses his mind and gets 3 sacks in this game.
This man is on fire.
So let's move on to Green Bay heading into Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Green Bay is coming in at 4-0. Tampa Bay is at 3-2. And of course, we know that everybody was thinking that Tom Brady was going to run roughshod through his division. Yeah, I mean that's what media thought.
Yeah.
But so of course now because Aaron Rodgers is doing Aaron Rodgers things, that's a conceited ass dude. He's conceited as casual E. So I want to get your thoughts on this game and how you think this will play out. What you got, Sean?
I've seen a lot of people picking Tampa Bay in this game because of the whole Rodgers-Arians matchups and whatnot, but I can't possibly see the Tampa Bay defense stopping any of Green Bay's offense at all. It's as simple as that for me. I'm going Green Bay, and I might say going Green Bay big.
Interesting. And
I'm going to add to that, and I'm going to give you another reason why it's going to be big. Losing Vita Veda last week for Tampa Bay is huge in this game.
He's huge.
It's huge because he's a stopper. He's a clogger in that middle with him and Sue together. Now all you got to do is double Sue, and the other Aaron, the running back, is going to kill them in this game. And that's going to open up the throwing Aaron, who's averaging like,
a billion yards.
Wait. First, the running back Aaron is averaging 5.5 a carry. That's why that offense is so damn dynamic, because you got a running game to go with it. And then you're going to give Aaron Rodgers all that, and he's being protected better than any quarterback in the league right now. So he's got plenty of time and a running game. Buccaneers are in trouble in this game. And Brady's in trouble in this game too, because the Packers have 12 sacks in 4 games.
Yowza.
12 sacks in 4 games. They get relentless pressure. So that dink and dunk game is going to see that all game long, and it's going to look boring when the Tampa Bay got the ball. But when Green Bay got it, quick score.
Yeah, interesting. So when everything is clicking, of course, the coach and the quarterback are on the same page and all that good stuff. It's always interesting how those stories play out. Chicago Bears heading into Bank of America Stadium to take on the Carolina Panthers at 3-2. Chicago comes in at 4-1. It's crazy how that stuff works. You change out your quarterbacks, you do all these things. It's funny because and Ed was honest about this and said he wasn't the one that came up with this phrase or this nickname for him, but Teddy Two Gloves, as it is with Teddy Bridgewater. It's interesting to see how far this will go. So let's start with you, Casual E. What you got in this game?
Man, Teddy Bridgewater has been amazing this year. I mean, I thought he was going to be a, game manager quarterback for the Carolina Panthers his first year because he had Christian McCaffrey. No Christian McCaffrey, they're 3-0. And it's because of him and how he's been throwing the ball. Now, granted, he hasn't played a defense that's like this Bears team yet. He's played our defense and a couple of other defenses that are easy to throw the ball on Atlanta Falcons. But this Bears defense is going to be one that's going to be different for him, and he's going to have to revert back to the Teddy that was in New Orleans with the little dink and dunk and manage the game, because the Bears defense is going to bring relentless pressure in this game, and I think that can force some things in there. But Foles is a veteran enough to beat this Carolina team, so that's why I'm going on the road with the Bears.
Sean, what you got?
You know, I guess you'd call this an upset. I'm gonna be going Carolina here. Both teams are about dead even when it comes to points allowed versus points scored. I think this game is about to be going with who's the tougher team. Carolina's a tough team. Like you said, losing McCaffrey and still finding a way to win games and grind it out. Keep pounding is their motto, and that's what they're doing. I still think Chicago's fake. I'm still waiting for them to drop. So this is the game I'm going to pick them again. They're going to drop. I'm going Carolina at home.
Khalil Mack.
I know. He's one dude, though. He's one dude.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a big dude. He's just one dude.
I'm one dude. I'm one dude too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real quick, did you see him talking crap to Brady last week? Him and Brady were going at it, kind of like a little bit. That's good. Funny.
Nah. So let's go on to Cincinnati Bengals going to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The reason that I put this here is interesting enough because when you think about Indianapolis, I'm going to throw a couple stats at you, and we'll start with you, Casual E, is that the points allowed per game at 17.6. Indianapolis is second, 17.6 points per game. And when you look at defensive passing yards a game, Indianapolis is first at 179. So, I mean, but they got Phillip Rivers, who got more kids than Noah's Ark. So, you know, it's interesting to see how this is going to go about. So that's why I want to start. So Casual E, what you got?
They have a saying, and we've heard Kyler say it here a lot. It's called complementary football, where you have the defense complementing the offense and the offense complementing the defense. Indy's defense is going to start to get pissed off at Phillip Rivers eventually, because this dude takes what they do. They get takeaways, they get stops, and this dude, they set the offense up perfectly to win games, and this dude comes in and chucks pick sixes left and right. So I'm like, I mean, when you old, the arm turns into a noodle, and you think in your mind you can get a ball in the spot, and that ball just slows down, and the defense is
me
like,
playing pickup basketball. I think I can take that lane.
You know, exactly. Like you said, I could cut. I want to, but man, these legs are cemented in the ground. That's how it is. And that defense is going to be – that's what's carrying that Indy team is that defense. When is Phillip going to catch up? I don't know, but eventually he keeps throwing them damn picks. You're going to see Brissett in there, and he's going to be that dude that's going to manage that game, and that defense is going to win games for them. So I'm
Sean, what you got?
I really want to pick the Bengals here as my big upset, but the Colts defense is keeping this team in games and backing up every Rivers pick that he ever throws. It'll be close, but I'm going to pick the mouthy veteran at home, so I'm going Colts as well.
All right, so let's move on to Denver, heading into Gillette Stadium, going to New England. Denver is 1-3. The Patriots are 2-2. The reason I put this here is because Cam is coming back. We know that with COVID-19, as my man Star Saxon will say, that 1-9, how would it hit you? And so it's interesting to see if the Patriots are able to kind of get back on track. Denver, you know, we know what's going on with Denver, but it just kind of an interesting thing because with this being the most unique year of all, how will players respond to this? So let's start with you, Sean. What you got on this one?
You know, I don't have a lot on this game, honestly. I just think that New England's going to have to stop trading wins and losses, and this is going to be a step in the right direction for them because they're lucky that they are hosting Denver, who is just a giant hot mess. So that they got that going for them. I'm going New England at home here. This is a typical Belichick going to rub it in Elway's nose type of thing. Yeah, it's going to be bad. New England.
Yeah, you don't match up star starting quarterbacks up to backups I mean, backups never win games like this with an actual star quarterback on the other side. So Cam coming back, he's licking his chops to get back on the field after that dang 14-day quarantine thing, and hopefully his breathing and stuff is all good, because I know I still have issues with that. I guess it's kind of how old you are, I guess. But
Well, they're gonna have better albuterol treatments than you got. So
I'm going with
Indeed.
New England
Indeed.
will take that one.
So this is that fourth quarter of the show. So we're gonna kind of do a no huddle as we go through this and how we do it. And so again, shouts out to my brothers for holding me down this evening. So Atlanta Falcons, they coming in, they're stalwart, they 5-0. Oh wait, hold on.
they're 5-0.
They 0-5 coming in here. They got going to US Bank Stadium with Minnesota, which is 4-1. Oh, wait a minute. I might be dyslexic, because Minnesota is 1-4.
This ain't
That's
last
how
year.
we going in here. When you look at the expectations of these two teams, you just wonder. I mean, it's when it comes to the coaches on both teams, maybe dead men walking, that type of thing. But how do you see this game playing out? What you got, Casual E?
Man, I got to think back when these two teams had a backbone. It was 1998 in the NFC Championship game.
Ooh.
That's the matchup.
Damn.
That was for Ed, and he ain't even here. So he was in that game. So,
Pour one out for Ed.
exactly. Pour one out for them Dirty Birds and beating that 98 bomb Minnesota team that put up, high-powered points. But this is a pathetic game. It's like these two quarterbacks should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, it's like these dudes just robbing organizations for big-time money and can't put it on the field. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know who to pick in this game. I'll go with Atlanta because they can score a little bit.
He left it blank.
A little more fluent.
You left it
Yeah,
blank.
I did. Yeah, hey, it is blank. I didn't do nothing to this game. I'm like, whatever.
What you got, Sean?
To me, the garbage games kind of go with vibes, right? It's the smell test. It seems more Minnesota-like for them to go toe-to-toe and almost beat Seattle one week and then lose to Atlanta the next week and give them their first win. So just for that vibe, because that's how Minnesota feels, I'm thinking Atlanta's finally going to get that first win. Come on, Matty Ice.
Wow.
I'm going Atlanta on the road. They put
true.
up more points.
Yeah.
So you got a running back that you signed that maybe somebody signed that you didn't want to have on the team. And then so when you figure out that they're on the team, you say that we're going to use this person, and you don't use the person, and the person gets injured and all this stuff. And when you're looking at me, it looks like you're looking at Sean. And when you're looking at Sean, it looks like you're looking at it, like Earl, all that stuff. So we got the 0-5 New York Jets.
That's messed up.
Going to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami and going to the Miami Dolphins, who are 2-3. You got Flores, and that's one of the things that has been a compliment of his coaching. Because last year around this time, there were some question marks because of maybe some of his tactics that people thought that he was trying to be a little bit too Bill Belichick-like. He was doing some, playing some Jay-Z stuff to kind of like to prove a point to somebody who. Anyway, the point is that it's almost a tale of two organizations going in opposite directions. Of course, here when it comes to this. So what you got on this one, Sean? The Jets and the Dolphins. I mean, Fitzmagic is in full effect. What's good? Indeed.
Ugliest game.
No, bro.
This is the ugliest game of the season. I'm going to just go Miami because they're putting up points right now. But this is probably the week that Fitzmagic throws 7 picks. So I'm going Miami, but we'll probably all get it wrong.
Indeed. What you got, Casual E?
I'm going with Miami because they can't move the ball and they can't score points. I don't see this Jets team doing anything at all other than firing that coach. But I mean, it looks like he got them strapped down somehow because he's still there.
He might not see the termination paper. He might come in on his desk and he won't even.
You a fool for that one, man. You a fool for that one. I like that, son. I like that. So we got the Washington football team coming in at 1-4. Man, I don't know about y'all, but when I heard that what's my man that used to play on San Francisco? When I heard that Alex Smith was in, and I saw the first drop back, and I think he got sacked first drop back.
Wrecked.
Man, I didn't want to see. I didn't want no parts of that, man. I don't want no parts of that. But Washington football team is coming in at 1-4. New York Giants 0-5. Good Lord. I mean, I guess somebody got to win. Question mark. I mean, what you got, Casual E?
I got a blank piece of paper. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Giants. They have a pulse now at least. I don't see Alex Smith getting back to form, or at least being the quarterback he was when he left, unless he's going back to Alex Smith's check down, which is what I saw last week, was just that quick little check down all game long. I'm going with the Giants because they can at least move the ball.
He was Alex Smith's check down when he was in San Francisco, and then when he went to Kansas City and all that stuff. So anyway, but yeah, so what you...
Then he got a little bit, when he started throwing it when he was with Kansas City a little bit, he started trying to feel a little bit.
Yeah. That's
now
like me trying to get healthy. I try to get healthy. I try to eat, a vegan burger, but I deep fry it in all kinds of stuff. It don't make no sense.
Touch my leg, man. I'm throwing this thing. There you go, 2 yards.
What you got, Sean? What you got?
The Giants really impressed me against Dallas. They played a lot, and they always play Dallas well, and it could just be that game, but they impressed me a little bit better, and I think they're going to start stacking wins in this atrocious NFC East. So I'm going to say the Giants. 1-5 after the end of this week.
1-5.
Proud
so
of them.
Houston, what does it say about when you fire your coach and then you end up winning the game after you fire your coach, and then everybody? I mean, it's not something that is lasting. But Houston Texans 1-4 going to Nissan Stadium. Tennessee Titans are 4-0. Of course, we all believe Tennessee Titans not, but I believe when they run it and that dude will run through your face. It's kind of like that Marshawn Lynch where it's over and 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 over, and they keep running through your face. What you got on this one, Sean?
I'll say it again, like I said on the Bills recap of last week. Good Lord, Derrick Henry is a very bad man. I'm going Titans at home because I was just watching him throw people into the stands. It was incredible. Tennessee.
What you got, Casual E?
You said not for Tennessee?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said Tennessee. Everybody don't believe. Not. Like they not.
Tannehill, man.
Tannehill is balling.
Tannehill.
Tannehill is a good starting.
You got a game to win. You picking Tannehill. You got a game to win.
Man, bite your tongue, yeah. I'm saying.
Let him finish.
I'm saying at least they have a good starting. They have a good starting quarterback. Let's just put it that way. And some teams say, "Hey, you are quarterback. We don't care who everybody is, but you are quarterback." And they know their quarterback. They know what his limits are. They know, and he knows what his limits are. And I think he's a perfect quarterback for that team. And you give him a weapon like Brown is right now. That Brown is not to be slept on. He was balling. So I mean, and Derrick Henry's gonna open up everything. All Tannehill has to do is like, oh, he's right there. Just it's gonna be wide open. So I like the Tennessee Titans. I like them as a playoff team. They were a playoff team last year. It's choked up a lot of good teams last year with that formula. So
that's true.
I like them, man. And Houston definitely ain't gonna challenge them in this game.
I feel you. Okay, you ain't gotta yell at me.
He got defensive
just because you put your hat to the back.
You made him upset.
I see that. So see if I can make you upset with Detroit Lions 1-3 going to be facing Jacksonville Jaguars at 1-4.
Boy, there's a lot of bad games this week.
Yeah, hey man. Sean, what please take
it's the Kiddie Bowl.
What you got on this one?
It's the Kiddie Bowl. Detroit has lost a lot of close games, which makes them better than their record reflects. So I got to give Detroit credit where credit's due. They're going to win. Jacksonville's going to lose.
That's about it.
What you got, Earl? What you got?
I echo that, what he just said.
Thank you.
Detroit. I have nothing.
Y'all suck. So Baltimore Ravens 4-1 going to Philadelphia 1-3-1. There are all kinds of reasons and all kinds of maybe excuses. It could be reasons. I don't know about why the quarterback for may not be getting ratified. But let's go into this. I mean, what you think on this one? I mean, question mark. What you got, Casual E?
Now here's the quarterback you should be saying bad, bad, bad to.
Okay.
This dude is the overrated guy. This is the dude that got the hype because he got the body and he got the arm, but he ain't got the
Lamar Jackson.
Body.
Lamar
like
Jackson.
R. Kelly would say, "My body."
Yeah, that I don't know what's wrong with Wentz. I think he just I don't know. I think he ran into the hype train and started reading his own press clippings, and now he figured out he ain't really that good. He's not really that good at all. And you had an offensive line. You had dynamic receivers at one point. I mean, I thought Jeffries was a pretty damn good receiver when they had Aguilar. They had a good dynamic receiver. He still couldn't get them the ball. So, and especially his tight ends. His tight ends are even more dynamic. I don't know what's wrong with this dude, but I'm going Baltimore in this game, and no way they beating Baltimore. Not with that quarterback.
What you got, Sean?
Ertz, don't it?
Yeah.
No. Anyways, all I wrote down was cakewalk for Baltimore, big trust, woot woot, to quote Mark Ingram. That's all I got. That's all.
Nice. And so if you're wondering why we didn't call the names of Seattle, the Chargers, New Orleans, or Las Vegas, that's because they had buys this week. And so again, thanks to my brothers for picking me up at the beginning of this week's episode.
We got about 4 more minutes. I want to ask y'all a question real quick.
That's what's up. What's up?
Give me y'all thoughts on Jerry Jones.
Who?
Jerry Pruneface Jones. How he looks now after the fact that Dak goes down like that. And it's like, do you think it's the right thing to do? Is it still you have to remain a businessman like he's doing and have to just go ahead and do what he's doing and not pay this dude? Or does he come around and say, you know what, anyway, and just give him his contract, get this thing over with?
Nah, I'll take I'll jump in real quick, Sean, is that when it comes to this, you have to, I mean, we're all businessmen. I mean, Casual E runs an empire over here at KSR and AZ.com. So you have to understand that there's a separation between church and state, so to speak. Right. So while people might, one of the things that you wish that I wish, even though I'm a business owner, that Dak had signed this contract before this, because this is the last thing that you want to happen.
Right.
And so, I mean, he said that, Dak is going to be a part of the Cowboys and all that, but is it discounted 15%, 20%, 25%? Who knows? Right. But I think that it's definitely not. Let's say if he was going to pay him $45 million a year, he's not still $45 million a year coming off that injury. He might pay him 38, 37. You know what I mean? And I think that's the reality of it. So that's why you wish. That's why I wish that he would have signed that contract or been able to get some type of agreement before something like this happened.
Right.
Yeah, for me, to all the other GMs in the league, he looks like a genius for doing this, right? On that standpoint. He looks like a genius. He just saved himself a bunch of money by switching to Geico. He just did. So, with Dak, though, it breaks your heart, right? That is brutal to go through. That doesn't mean that Jerry can't throw in a bunch of different incentive-based bonuses in there to get him up to a number that is more benefiting to what he's done for the league. But it's all going to depend on how he rehabs, how he comes back, too, because there's a big question mark there.
I agree exactly what both of you guys are saying. It is a business thing. And when you look at it from a business standpoint, Jerry is doing what a businessman should do. But Dak, in the beginning, didn't do what a businessman probably should have done. And he could have held out. And not showed up to camp, and and I'm looking like when I look at that, I go, well, there he just did Jerry a favor and at least came in and started playing.
Yeah, and
he could have held out, and this is why guys are going to start now looking at that situation and going, you know what, that happened to this dude, I'm about to hold out.
But it's crazy. Every situation is a little bit different, and here's one of the reasons why, and this might be me. I mean, black dude trying to hold out, quarterback, all that type of stuff. You should just take what you get. And I think that there would have been that. Then you look at who they brought in almost as an insurance policy. I think it's very evident. Right. Because I don't know what you guys think. I don't think there's going to be that much of a drop off. I mean, there'll be a drop off And I think in Ed, when we were doing Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, he mentioned this when we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys, that it's not that precipitous of a drop when you come into Andy Dalton, because he's accomplished, and as you mentioned, Earl, he led the Cincinnati Bengals to the playoffs. Yeah, they couldn't get it to quite curl right, but he got them to the playoffs multiple times. And so I think it's you and then plus with public opinion, people want. I think it's just real, and I'm whatever it is. I'm just.
It was
am.
It was more like a heartfelt thing when everybody saw him go down. That's where everybody.
When a black dude holds out, it's you. How dare you? And I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, that might not be the overriding sentiment, but I think it's part of it. And there's more of that happens than doesn't happen.
And in the NFL,
I think that's what he would have been fighting.
In the NFL, especially for owners and GMs, it's all about money, and anything else doesn't really matter. You don't get a different incentive or a different payday just because they're going to hold that money until they have to. And that's how they got rich and famous to begin with, right?
You made an excellent point when who they brought in for the backup makes a big difference. You made a good point. That's an excellent point. That backs up what you just said about why him holding out wouldn't have been a good idea, because that guy they brought in, they'd rather probably have him anyway to begin with, because like you said, that guy is serviceable. That guy has won games. That guy is a guy that you can say, I'm not trying to be the superstar to throw for 6,000 yards this year. That's good. I'm gonna hand it off. I'm happy with giving it to that dude behind. Right. So they're gonna be a different team with him. So yeah, I mean it's a dicey situation, but I kind of felt bad for him going down like that. And my first instinct was F Jerry Jones, man. Then after a while, Egg starts to think, he goes, no, that's a business move. He did what he had to do.
He a billionaire for a reason. I mean, they make these tons of money that they do for a reason, because they can separate. It's that, I had to fire you. Hey, you want to have a beer later on though? Oh, you just fired me. Well, that was business. You my partner though. I mean, so it's being able to draw that clear line of demarcation.
I hear you.
So we do this every Thursday. So again, shout out to our missing brother, Ed Easy Smith. To my left is the one and only Casual E. Earl Burnett. And then below me, the man with the trophy, is the one and only Sean McConnell. I am Javon J. Love Adams. And so we'll catch y'all next week, and we're going to do it up. I had my son pick again because he had 11 this past week, and the week before I had 9. So
hey, I didn't hear anybody pick the Cardinal game. Who you got?
Bird Gang, baby.
I got the Cardinals. Actually, I got the Cardinals. Okay. Cardinals in a close game, about three point game.
No, you already know who like that. Cardinals all the way. Peace out, bro.
You can.